Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Aulia Vidari Alrasyidin. I'm the representative from Senior High School for Karimun, Riau Island. I'm the first speaker of government team with motion. This house would criminalize individuals and organizations who do not recycle. I really agree with this motion. In this occasion, I will tell you why I really agree with this motion. First, I like to give you the definition from this motion. According to Oxford Dictionary, criminalize is turn someone into a criminal by making their activities illegal. According to Cambridge Dictionary, recycle is to sort and collect rubbish in order to treat it and produce useful materials that can be used again. So, this house would criminalize individuals and organizations who do not recycle means to giving punishment to individuals or groups who carry out activities and produce waste but do not process the waste again. I strongly believe in this motion. Recycling is really needed to reduce the amount of waste that exists, especially those that are difficult to decompose, such as plastic. Recycling can also help to save on production costs because the raw materials are available to use again. And in this chance, I want to delve for why I really agree with this motion. I have some ideas why I really agree with this motion. First, by giving criminalize, it would be able to reduce environmental pollution. As we know that nowadays there are some of the society are not so care about environment pollution. With so much waste, there is a big possibility that the waste will be thrown carelessly, such as into rivers, such as Jakarta. The government gets so confused to reduce the rubbish already drowned into the river because there is no regulation to criminalize the society who drown away the rubbish itself. As we know, this increased the possibility of damage to nature caused by the waste. The honorable judicators, this once again makes me confirm that I strongly agree with this motion. With the destruction of nature due to the waste, those who leader are responsibility for the pollution that occurs and deserve to be punished. Because the environment is the place where we live and with existing pollution, not only is the environment damaged, but our health, the people who live in the environment are also affected. Diseases that can arise due to environmental pollution by waste such as asthma, diarrhea, and so on. If individuals or organizations who throw away rubbish and don't do recycle are allowed to continue the activity again and again, this will lead to a buildup of rubbish. Law number 18 of 2008 divides domestic waste management into two parts, namely waste reduction and waste handling. Waste reduction is question includes three R activities: reduce, reuse, recycle on various waste sources such as household, commercial, public facilities, and so on. Meanwhile, waste handling includes collection and transportation activities to landfill, waste processing, intermediate treatment, energy recovery, and final disposal. As an example, the Sargasso Sea is filled with plastic waste from various countries bordering the Atlantic Ocean, the west coast of Africa to the east coast of the United States. The waste turns into microplastics and ends up in the stomach of marine animals. According to Greenpeace scientists, they have found very high levels of microplastic pollution in the Sargasso Sea, although these findings are still being reviewed. Among the findings were 1,300 microplastic fragments. This is enough to explain why waste disposal is very dangerous if it is carried out continuously. Especially plastic waste, which is very difficult to decompose, will cause the accumulation of waste as happened in the Sargasso Sea. Second, the stupidity of the people, the effect of disposal without recycling. One of the effect of disposal without recycling, it will be natural disaster and kind of illness. Waste that is thrown carelessly without recycling will cause a buildup of waste in areas filled with waste, such as seas, rivers, and sewers. This can cause natural disasters such as floods. How big or not the flood is caused by waste depends on how much waste is disposed of in that area. And with a large amount of waste that is not recycled, it will create the possibility of flash flood occurring, which will have bad consequences, namely damage to infrastructure and buildings. In addition, the accumulation of garbage can also cause landslides, which can cause death. For example, the tragic incident that occurred several years ago where hundreds of residents died due to an avalanche of piles of garbage. This incident eventually became a memorable event and was inaugurated as the commemoration of National Waste Care Day. HPSN. The purpose of this warning is none other than to remind and make people aware of the dangers of waste and invite them to care about waste management. There are many people who don't want to recycle and instead burn their waste. This actually increases the problem by causing pollution and environmental pollution. Burning household waste can cause long-term health problems. Toxic chemicals released during waste burning. Burning plastics and processed wood also release heavy metals and toxic chemicals such as dioxin. Larger pieces of plastic can become breeding grounds for disease, such as by trapping water that provides mosquito habitat. Effects of burning wood and fallen leaves: when household waste, such as wood and leaves, are burned, they produce smoke, which contains vapors and particles, solid and liquid droplets suspend in the air. Air pollution from smoke can have an impact on human health. People exposed to these air pollutants can experience eye and nose irritation, difficulty breathing, coughing, and headache. People with heart disease, asthma, emphysema, or other respiratory ailments are particularly sensitive to air pollution. Other health problems exacerbated by burning waste, including lung infections, pneumonia, bronchiolitis, and allergies. Third, save energy resources. Processing raw resources requires a long process using a lot of energy sources, such as processing packaging. Clothing requires a lot of processing and resources such as electricity and water. In fact, when carrying out this production process, it requires a lot of petroleum energy sources, which is very limited. With recycling, it will greatly save energy from natural resources used for the production process. The honorable judicators, individuals or organizations who throw away waste without recycling it not only causes environmental pollution and the spread of disease, but also waste energy resources for the production process. So, the conclusion is I really agree that this house would criminalize individuals and organizations that do not recycle, because there's a lot of negative effects which is detrimental to the environment and humans themselves, and by allowing this to happen continuously, it will be detrimental to all parties, including individuals and the organization itself. That's all from me. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.